Start it up. This large project folder is getting more cumbersome as the project grows more and more. What happened there? Not the world's biggest deal. Let's get to where we need to be. So, on the last stream, I made some progress, but I also goofed something. And as often as it is, we realize our goofs in hindsight. I think it's fairly easy to spot the process is not one that see how this has a sort of a painterly application. We get to that in time. First we do the airbrush, or at least to be consistent we're going to keep doing that. It's not that I hate what this looks like, but one thing that it does look like is it's on track to looking like my old teacher, Nathan Fawkes, would have said that it was looking like a sack of walnuts. And it is. So we need to amend that. Good morning. You're about to go back to sleep. That's funny. Go back to sleep. Nothing exciting here. No biggie. The other day I was thinking about something I could do. Which would be like, part of the reason I'm streaming all this is to sort of have creative transparency for like educational purposes, but also like just in case there's any AI allegations, and bit glad I did. But the shucks, what happened there? But I was realizing that as long as I record it, then it can theoretically still be, the process is still saved and documented, but it can allow me to do it a little bit more piecemeal, just in case the urge to do the work was there but not to stream for whatever reason. Maybe technical difficulties, maybe I'm just not feeling it then, but it was just a thought I had. Doesn't hurt to have on file. Yeah, I actually do keep all the VODs and download, so I have archives, so I'm actually starting to put together a proper like video of, and I don't really have time to do it anything special, but the do one of those, not one of those not a true audio commentary where I'm playing a time-lapse speed paint or something like that in the background and complaining about whatever thing I'm complaining about. I'd love to do those, but that's not necessarily something I'm trying to do. Plenty of examples of that being well done already out there. Ah, man, how come I can't? Anyway, today I got up early and shaved for the first time in forever. Feels like I'm a teenager again. Okay, so this is the thing. Prioritizing the bigger picture, but using broad, if not deep, applications of the airbrush. Form of these, this structure is primarily a ball, so let's make it, or like a ball with two hemispheres, and so it needs to read that way primarily. And these legs primarily are cylinders, so they need to read that way, and so on and so forth. It only takes a quick brush stroke to basically make that happen, and once it's happened, then you can subdivide, get in there with all the little nooks and crannies, but they'll be based in the main form, or whatever it would be called, the dominant. And then now from a distance, it's reading better that way. Compare now. Save this. Okay. So this versus this, and of course it's like on this you see more detail, but it's not, that detail isn't important. So it's just adding detail for the sake of the detail. Way more important to have the main structure read. Before we go in and highlight all the variation. So I've deleted that one little thing, but it's not really deleted because it's on the stream. Okay, now we pick this color. Looks good. Same process. There we have our color relationship. We just add light to all of them and then extra blue. To give it that bluey blue. Last night I couldn't tell if I was in the mood to stream or just go to bed. And I felt like I wanted to do something, not nothing. So I was like, has it been long enough that I could possibly post more stuff? Even if it's just old rough drawings. Get the bead of the crowd. Get a bead on what people think of stuff. Yeah, there was activity. It's interesting, you got notifications. That's sweet. I don't I dare say that the Tumblr might continue even if you didn't, and by all means please continue to show support, but the what you had done has helped a lot, because the general, my general impression is that people are, I don't know if it's visible, I mean it's not that many, it's like 100 followers or something on Tumblr, but it's it feels good, you know. That's good progress, considering many people reblog without even following, which is hilarious. I don't know what that means. I don't know why that would be an effective way of showing support, but I still appreciate it. It actually is probably more effective. Reblogs are the most effective way. Interesting. Does reblogging more or less equal a follow if the because what I had noticed is that people set up reblog accounts, so they'll have something for themselves and they'll have something for basically helping boost, which is interesting. So it's like, here's what I post from, and here's what I engage from, as separate entities, which is interesting. The masks we wear. Yeah, some accounts have themes, some people have sideblog connected to their main account. Yeah, it's interesting. I certainly have enjoyed learning. You got two blogs. My main blog, I got two blogs. My main blog is where I just reblog whatever, plus Zelda, my art account, a side blog, and a reblog cool art I want to learn from. Awesome. There's no good or bad. Do the likes work like you would normally expect them to, or are they loaded with? Like, is it rude to like things? I've been trying to like other other people's postings of Zelda stuff. Sort of, they're kind of just there to show appreciation. Wasn't expecting the and this is what I mean where I'm like, it's just interesting to learn and have something to bounce off. Sort of note, like, whereas like on Instagram I can't post a GIF and have it be interesting. So the process GIFs that I posted on Tumblr, I didn't expect people to like those at all, and it seems like that's interesting that people are kind of curious, or they just like seeing it, so they click like. But probably just a form of encouragement. But I think the process is a big part. Like, I think it is a big part of the I owe what comes out of the process to it. So if anybody was interested in seeing that, it made me happy. Sorry, I've got a little bit of a crummy throat right now, but it's all good. Feel good. Oh, love you, boo. Bye. Even just the subtlest bit of blue light in the eyes, even though they're small, can really make a big difference. That's interesting. I guess I put some veins in the sclera of the eyes. Sclera being the white part of the eye. Just subtle. Somehow it organizes itself and it reads better at a distance. Okay. Now, can we do the same thing with the mountain? And the mountain is tricky because the mountain is all these crazy ins and outs and jaggedy bits. It's like, what form? What form do we pick to make dominant, like the main shape? And it'll be a cone, essentially, is what I'm thinking. Let's see if we can do that. Get away with that. Okay, that's the color of the mountain. Big brush. There we go. So. Looks right. And maybe some secondary. Smaller cone. Smaller cone right here. It's interesting. These being the base colors, I can tell that there's some variation in them. But then when it's all darkened down, I really can't tell much difference. That's why I appreciate the formula that we do, helping alleviate my anxiety about, I can't tell whether or not that's, I don't recognize that as a specific hue or color. It could be dark green, it could be dark red, it could be dark purple. Once it's this dark, I can't tell anything about it at all. Like I can barely tell the difference between having these lines on and the lines off. Nonetheless, we apply the same formula. Sort of interesting. This looks like a portion of mountain that I intended to fill and then never did, which is odd. I must have cut it out for some reason. So let's fix that. And this will be a quick stream. I'm only going to go another 15 minutes maybe, or less. The seeing the process GIFs played back to me, I realize how quick the process can be. Because sometimes each one of those sort of, they're arbitrary. They represent like a point where I just decided to save a new file name. And I only do that because it's good insurance, just in case one file gets corrupted. It's rare, but it does happen. And it can be devastating because the entire file is lost if it wasn't backed up properly. So even though there might be 20 individual files that make up the process, that doesn't necessarily mean it was 20 streams to do that. It could have been, it's just not a direct reflection. Feels okay. The amount of The amount of streams it takes is a little bit arbitrary, but even just a 1 hour stream can make a big difference. It's hard to tell in the moment. It feels like you do nothing. But when you save it and look back at how it goes, you really do see so up here it's getting tricky because I cheated the I cheated in some atmospheric perspective. What is that? Where did I put that? That looks awesome. I love the way that looks like finished art to me, but the lava burst. Shit is like money. Okay, but it's too much for right now. It'll distract us. So let me turn that off. What I'm looking for is whatever is making this more orange. And if it was something that's baked in, that's fine. It looks like it is. Looks like it might be baked in. That's okay. That's cool. Get there. Let's see here. All right. What, if any, blue can we impart on the sky? It's tricky. I'm a little skeptical. The genius of me, I have I've baked in these interesting probably didn't intend to. When I say baked in, I mean like I've drawn on a layer that would have been best kept separate on its own layer. So my layer for the gradient of the sky now has these rings built on it, which are interesting. And they're not bad at all, but they represent kind of like I was talking about with the sack of walnut stuff. It's just a little bit too much granular detail. I wonder if I can just smart blur it out. 'Cause I'm smart. That doesn't look bad here necessarily, but Some weird artifacting. Here, let's see what we think about that. It's funny, it's given it an interesting texture. Was that there before? No, that's interesting. Why did that happen? Is that a smart blur thing? That doesn't look too bad, and what I can also do is just stretch out the image slightly and get away from that artifacting that was happening at the top. I can't tell if it's still there. But it kind of looks okay. It's a little saturated. And by that I mean it's extremely saturated. And the reason I don't want that to be the case right now is it'll influence too much the perception of the other colors. Same thing up here, like this is too... It's too much, it's distracting. Just suck all that color out. If we have too much saturation in the beginning, like the highly saturated parts are like our boundaries, like they're the parameters. And it's almost like that stuff needs to be only where we want it to be as like a finishing touch, not in these early stages. Same thing here. If I can, let me just select out areas that feel offending. Okay, that's better. Just suck the saturation right out. Even this is feeling saturated. I don't know much about these dragons. Where did I have that? Huh. But that's what this is supposed to be, is like a dragon way up there. I need to like figure out a way to. Glad I can see orange. Yeah, I can see a little bit. Is that what this is? Sad Grandma song? Oh, it's called Grandma. Huh. I didn't play Tears of the Kingdom. Or Breath of the Wild, so if it's Wind Waker? Ah. I'm a big fan of like all Zelda stuff, but it's just a matter of how busy was I in my life doing whatever when that game came out, and to an extent it was like, did I have money, you know? Sometimes I had no money and no time. It's like, okay, it's when you gotta tell Grandma you're going away. But technically she does all the talking. I gotta tell you something, and you're just like, They're like, what? Here's how the conversation goes. And I haven't even seen this, but it's like, what's that, Link? You're telling me you need to go away? You're telling me you need to go on a hunt to find the Triforce and rescue the princess? You're telling me that it's gonna be dangerous and you'll miss me very much? Oh yeah, well, you know. It's like, damn, Link, you talk too much. You're like, Today is an interesting day for me. So later today, you can kind of see the emojiness of that whole thing, but yeah. A little hard to see. All right. Anyway, not a dunk. Forgive my old millennial eyes. The fun thing for me today is that I'm going to a work Christmas party. Hence me giving a shit and actually shaving for once in my life. I haven't had to be presentable in public in a long time. It's very cool. What's interesting is that this is a client. It's for my best client right now, and I always say like right now, because it's weird. It's like sometimes a client is your best client, and you just feel like, wow, it's like these are my people, and then things change over time, and then before you know it, they don't even call you anymore, and you're like, well, what's up with that, you know? But other client steps in and is like, cool, you're our guy now. It's like, okay. Like relationships. But anyway, I'm grateful for them to being good clients, but also this is interesting because these now, of course, it used to be these companies, and they're fairly large companies, but they would have like big parties, like hundreds of people. Since COVID started, and then there was, of course, a creative diaspora where a lot of people during COVID moved back to their hometown for various reasons. And so the office party was not, basically, a lot of people just weren't even going to them because they couldn't physically. A lot of momentum was lost. And then it became a little bit of like, well, now it's more like you get invited if you're on staff, but I'm a freelancer. So you know, I wouldn't get invited. But this year I got invited, but I got like this was one of those, like, you can tell you didn't get the invite when it first went out, but then someone was like, oh yeah, so-and-so can't make it. Here, let's invite a good freelancer to fill the seat. You're like, Max is local, but Max is desperate. No, but it's true that that it is, I don't know, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm honored, because it's not like I'm honored, but it's not a default, like, obvious thing for me to get invited to this party or any Christmas parties these days. Where it used to be, just being a freelancer that, like, had my email address, I would get invited to like 5 or 6 Christmas parties, and then I couldn't go to any of them because I would go to my wife's Christmas party, which was always on the same day. So it's like, it's cool to have all these invites and I can't do any of them. Now there's like, now even my wife's work doesn't even do Christmas parties. So that it's not just like a creative field thing that's had that change. It's pretty much everywhere. And I'm okay if it changes. I'd like to, did things change after COVID? I mean, they changed because of COVID, and then they didn't change back. I think it's just tricky because a lot of people who from what I can tell, even the directors and producers are extremely happy with a work from home, just for the convenience of it, like a work from home sort of situation. And then once you have a work from home situation, and that, you know, it does have its great thing. Basically, everybody was like, well, if I work from home, I can have a better chance at having like a normal family life, which is elusive for people who work in production. And I get that, because the reason I can, you know, pick up my kids from school and or take them to school and, you know, get chores done around the house during the day is because of the work from home dynamic. But it comes at the expense of other stuff, where I don't have strong networking with my clients in person anymore. They used to be a very strong thing that I would do. Okay, what I've done here is just throw up a very quick, cool gradient, just to sort of give a little bit of contrast to the hue of the sky. And maybe I'll do a little bit. So like if the sun, let's say the sun is low and filtered out through the smoke behind the mountain, behind Link's head, that's what's glowing here. And up here, we've got sort of this orangey glow from the volcano. That means that, like, over here to the left of the screen, it's okay to have some cool light bouncing off maybe one of these clouds. Let's try and do that. But maybe I'll have it on its own layer. One thing I don't, it's like, this will be the challenge, is going to be keeping my mouth shut at a work party where they'll be serving alcohol. It's like I have to be diplomatic, you know? I don't want to Like this is it, where it's like, okay, these people are my best clients, you know, don't mess it up. They're probably close to like 60% of the income that I had for this year. So if it went away entirely, it's not to say it couldn't be replaced, but I couldn't replace it easily or quickly. And I'd feel it. So I have to be smart. It's probably less said the better. See, that's the thing, is I got to just show up and be, you know, nice and, you know, take drinks when offered, but not, you know, dive in. And, you know, represent myself diplomatically. That's okay. It's actually know a good amount of the people there, or at least I know I've met a lot. I met and had worked with in person, probably at least a dozen people there before COVID. So, you know, it'll be cool to see them in person and, after so long, because I haven't. It'll be cool to see them and just, you know, catch up. That'll be what it is. And I don't need to make more of it than it is. I'm just there because someone RSVP'd no and they wanted to fill the seat. That's what it is. So, yeah. My hope is that within the next 3 years, if possible, things more or less go back to the way they were. It probably won't happen, but if it did, I wouldn't bemoan it. Yeah, this is a great, like, for me, I guess that's it, is like, I have, you know, I want to work my social game, you know, because I didn't know how to schmooze, and you know, I can flirt if I have to, and stuff like that. You know, I want to make sure people remember me and enjoy working with me, and that's the important thing. And, it's an opportunity to do that, so I just have to not overdo it. So that'll be the challenge. Challenge the not overdo it at the Christmas party. Challenge level impossible. Right? All right. This is in a good spot to call it a day from now. So let's make a thumbnail. It's always red when I'm. I'll wait for the color to change for a second. I'm an awesome guy. Everybody should be lining up to chat with me. So interesting. But and it's like, and I shaved, so it's fun. It'll make me look like I'm not only you know, I want to be on the short list for, like, when, you know, some creative director when they're thinking so hard they have a stroke and they can't do their jobs anymore, and they're like, shit, we need a genius at the last second to throw money at so they fix our project. And I'll be like, yes, slide in. No, the last thing I want to do is be in a role where I have where they say, Max, we need you to be in charge, but you're not allowed to draw. That would be the problem. Big reason I keep myself small. All right, so let me just go like this. All right, that's a little fun doodle thumbnail. All right, Sector, thanks for joining, and I'm gonna bid everybody adios, and see you next time. All right, thanks, bye.